me just tell you a quick story. So when I first started fighting, I remember thinking I was like all that because I had my black belt in American Freestyle Karate, and only to come to find out that having that black belt in karate was just like very elementary and just very foundational for me as an MMA fighter. I remember sparring with Donald Cerrone and trying to throw an axe kick on him, and I bring my leg up and I'm like, yes, this is gonna land, and he sweeps me from under my other leg and knocks the wind out of me, and he's standing over me and he's like, don't ever do that shit again. And it really just kind of put things into perspective as far as, wow, I have a lot to learn. And the same thing happened when I went into Thailand. So in karate, a lot of your kicks are chambered. And that's just how you're taught. So when you do the front kick, it's chamber here and then out. Wherever your knee goes is where your kick will go. So, and in karate I did a lot of point sparring. And so it's a lot of touch, it's a lot of accuracy. And all you have to do to get the point is touch your opponent. You don't have to cut him down, you don't have to knock him out. In fact, you don't want to try to knock him out because then you're being too aggressive. Yeah. So everything was just touch. Front, kicks, touch. Everything was bring it up, touch, you know, side, touch. So, and it's very pretty. And I was very heavily involved in the more artistic side of it, where everything had to be, you know, structured. Here, holds, you know, I would do like 10 kick combos, and I had really good balance. Then I tried to transfer that over into fighting, and it did not work. And that's why I would always get taken down in my fights, and that's why I had to learn jiu-jitsu, because I throw these really pretty kicks and then it make me stand tall and then they take me down. And so I had to learn how to sit down on my punches and my kicks. So, I don't know, to make a long story short, karate kicks are all chambered. Front kick, roundhouse, side kick, they're all chambered. And they all have a time and a place, and I feel like now that I've been fighting for almost 10 years, that I can kind of transition some of my karate back into my fighting with the knowledge that I've put in after these 10 years of training at Jackson's. So when you're fighting, you don't want a chamber because first of all, you're telegraphing your attack. So when you chamber, they already know that it's coming, so then they're either going to back up or take you down. So you want to disguise it with some type of punch, or you want to follow up after the kick. And so what I'm going to show you today is how I use my back leg kick as a setup. So a lot of boxers, they like to use a jab. So they use a jab and they're just seeing what their opponent's doing. Is their opponent parrying? Is their opponent pulling? Is their opponent checking? And after they see what their opponent does is when they attack with their cross, their hook, you know, their double jab, the drop or whatever. So it's the same thing for the leg kick. So if I'm fighting with my opponent, I'm going to show you 3 different things that you could do after you set up the leg kick. So the leg kick is here. And the difference between a karate, usually karate is right here to the waist and up. So you never really go to the legs. If you ever watch any of like the taekwondo tournaments or anything, it's all from the hips up. And so it's really different to be chopping at the legs. And that's really heavily done in Muay Thai. So when you do the back leg kick, what you want to do is you want to picture your leg as a bat, and you're swinging your bat down. And we have these 2 points, just like right above the knee here, and right maybe like 5 inches below the waist here. That if you land those, you're going down. Those are like Charlie Horse City. So what you want to do, and you don't want to hit with your foot, which is what you traditionally do in karate. What you want to hit with is this part, because it's harder, it hurts more. And then plus, you have all these little bones in your toes, and you don't want to break any of those bones. A lot of fighters end up throwing kicks, and what ends up happening is they catch elbows, or they catch knees, and they break their foot in the middle of the fight, or it swells, or they roll their ankles. So what you really want to do is hit with this part of of the leg. And then also you want to take a deeper step here to open up your hips. If I don't step, my hips don't open and I can't turn. Sit over a little bit. So if I step, this opens up my hips to then throw my roundhouse the way it needs to be thrown. Okay? No, I'm not gonna. I'm not. I might just dig in once. I might just dig in once. So I'm gonna take a side step. What this side step also does is get me offline. If I stay here and I don't move, boom, I'm gonna run right into that straight right. So I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna take a side step here so that I'm out of the way, I'm offline, and now I have perfect angle to get this kick. So I'm gonna take a step here, and I'm gonna bring it up and down like I'm chopping wood. Okay? You don't want to come up because, like I said, you can catch the elbow, you can skid up, and what happens sometimes if somebody kicks up here, they end up catching the leg and taking you down. So you want to come up and down. So you're throwing the cross, boom, down. So that's the kick, okay? So, if you ever get hit with one of those, it really hurts. So you usually end up not trying to get hit with those again. So what a lot of people do is they're gonna do like a Muay Thai check, which is bringing their leg up, okay? And what this does is it blocks with their knee and the bottom of their leg. So when he brings his leg up, and he's blocking with that, so boom, I throw the kick and I see that he's doing this. Okay, so the next time I go to throw my roundhouse kick, I'm not gonna aim for this leg, I'm gonna aim for that leg. Okay, so it's here, I throw the first one, boom, I see that he's checking, boom, I see that he's checking, so the next time I'm gonna come down, boom, and take him out. So that's one setup, okay? So the next setup is if they don't bring their foot all the way up, but they just lean into it. And this is what I like to do, because just by leaning into it, I'm flexing this muscle, and I'm also hitting them with the knee. If somebody goes to kick me and they hit my knee, they're probably not gonna want to kick me again. So I throw, boom, I see that he's leaning. So the next time I'm just gonna pretend to throw. And in MMA, especially now, a lot of people are starting to transition into orthodox to southpaw and trying to use those fluidly. Dominic Cruz, Cody Garbrandt, a lot of people are now switching their stance. It's because MMA is evolving and you have to evolve with it. So, boom, he checks, oh, that hurt, I don't want to do that again, so I'm going to fake the kick, throw the right. As I'm throwing the right, it actually turns from a jab to a cross, and that gives me more power, and that also gives me his back. So now I'm here, boom, 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 and I have better position. Okay? So there's that one. And the last one is what a lot of times when you fight people, especially if they have like heavy Muay Thai background, they don't check. They're really good with their eyes. They can calculate range really well. So instead of checking or checking high, they do this number. So they do this number because they still have balance to come back in and do what they want to do. A lot of times when they do this, they're baiting your kick so that they can counter. What I'm banking on is that when they do this, they're not seeing my second kick coming in. So I go to throw the back kick, he pulls, oh man. So he's gonna do it again, boom, he pulls, boom. So all of these kicks are me setting up. So I'm throwing, boom, boom. Okay, so back to the first one is when they check high. So I go, boom, boom. And that one's good if you just want to make them look silly and fall on the ground. Or if you're not good at takedowns and you just want to take the fight to the ground. Okay, number 2, boom, on their knee, boom, step through. Okay, number 3 is when they pull. When they pull, boom, pull. Cool? Cool. All right. Thank you.